What if the reason some people effortlessly live your dream life has nothing to do with luck, connections, or even hard work? There's a quantum principle that explains why certain individuals seem to magnetize success, love, and abundance while others struggle despite trying everything. The moment you understand what they're actually doing differently, you're not competing for opportunities anymore, you're creating them. Everything changes. Now, here's what's shocking about this discovery. Most people spend their entire lives trying to achieve their dreams by focusing on external actions, working harder, networking more, following the latest success strategies, thinking positive thoughts, visualizing their goals. But they never ask why their external reality keeps reflecting the same patterns of limitation. They're trying to change their circumstances instead of changing what creates those circumstances. They operate from a frequency of lack, worry, and desperation which just generates more of the same experiences because they don't realize their vibrational state is literally broadcasting their reality to the quantum field. And this is exactly why goal setting and action plans don't work for most people. But there's a quantum principle that changes everything. When you understand that every thought, emotion, and belief creates a vibrational frequency that either matches your dreams or repels them, you can stop chasing outcomes and start embodying the state that magnetizes them naturally. I'm going to show you the exact 3-step vibrational alignment process that transforms you from someone wanting your dreams into someone living them. Plus, I'll give you the frequency shift technique that makes this automatic in just moments. So you become the energetic match for everything you desire instead of unconsciously pushing it away. Every moment you spend in the wrong vibrational state is a missed opportunity to literally attract your dream life. And most people waste years operating from frequencies that guarantee they'll never get what they want. When you were born, you didn't think your way into this reality. You vibrated at the frequency of pure potential. Your very first experience wasn't analyzing what you needed to do or figuring out how to survive. It was existing in perfect alignment with life itself. Your soul entered this dimension not through strategic planning or goal setting, but through the simple profound truth of being in vibrational harmony with creation. In that moment, you knew something that you've since forgotten. Your vibrational frequency is the bridge between who you are and what you experience. But somewhere along the way, we learned to vibrate from fear instead of from our natural state of abundance. We began operating from scarcity rather than from the unlimited field of possibilities. Take a moment right now and notice your internal state. What frequency are you broadcasting? If you're like most people, it's probably anxiety, worry, or some form of resistance to what is. This is what I call survival vibration. The kind that keeps you alive but keeps your dreams at a distance. Ancient wisdom keepers understood something we've forgotten in our modern world. From the Hermetic principle of vibration to the Buddhist understanding of resonance, cultures across time recognized that everything in existence is energy vibrating at different frequencies. They knew that like attracts like wasn't just a saying. It was the fundamental law governing all of reality, the invisible thread connecting thought and experience, intention and manifestation. In these traditions, vibrational alignment wasn't just a concept. It was a way of life. The ancient Egyptians taught that consciousness could tune itself to different frequencies of reality. The mystics discovered that when you match the vibration of what you desire, physical laws bend to accommodate that resonance. They weren't speaking metaphorically. They understood that when you embody a frequency, you don't attract experiences, you become them. Think about this. Every experience you've ever had, every person you've attracted, every opportunity that has shown up or passed you by has been a perfect vibrational match to your predominant frequency. When you vibrate at the frequency of lack, you experience limitation. When you vibrate at the frequency of love, you experience connection. When you vibrate at the frequency of abundance, wealth flows naturally. Your frequency isn't just reflecting your reality, it's creating it. The difference between wanting something and being it is vibration. Wanting creates the frequency of not having. Being creates the frequency of possession. When you begin to vibrate as if your dreams are already real, as if abundance is your natural state, as if love surrounds you completely, something magical begins to happen. You stop being someone hoping for change and you become someone embodying it. This is where vibration becomes creation. Because every moment you spend in the frequency of your fulfilled desires is programming reality to match that state. What I'm about to reveal will shatter everything you believe about manifestation. You think you're trying to attract what you want, but you're actually repelling it. Most of us spend our entire lives focused on what we don't have. We wake up in the morning and immediately the internal commentary begins. I don't have enough money. I'm not in the relationship I want. I wish I had their success. I wonder when things will finally change for me. And we assume this focus on lack is motivating us toward our goals. But what if I told you that every moment spent in that frequency is actually moving you further from what you desire? Right now, as you're absorbing this, I want you to do something revolutionary. Instead of thinking about what you want to attract, feel into what it would be like to already have it. Don't try to convince yourself it's real. Just allow yourself to experience the emotional frequency of already living your dream life. As you do this, something remarkable is happening. You're shifting from the vibration of wanting to the vibration of having. You're becoming an energetic match for your desires instead of a match for their absence. Now, while you're in this state, notice what your mind is doing. It might be protesting, but this isn't real, or I'm just pretending, or this won't actually work. Here's the beautiful revelation. If you can observe those limiting thoughts, if you can witness them without being consumed by them, then you have access to a frequency beyond them. You are the consciousness that can choose which vibration to embody. This is the birth of vibrational mastery. The part of you that exists beyond the learned patterns of limitation. Think of it like tuning a radio. Your thoughts and emotions are like radio stations. Sometimes you're tuned to the station of worry, fear, and scarcity. Sometimes you're tuned to the station of joy, abundance, and possibility. But you, the real you, are the one holding the dial. You get to choose which frequency to tune into. You're not the static. You're the consciousness that can select the station. In quantum physics, they call this the observer effect. Your consciousness has the power to collapse infinite possibilities into specific experiences simply by choosing which frequency to observe from. Some frequencies collapse possibilities of struggle and limitation. Others collapse possibilities of ease and abundance. This vibrational consciousness is your true power. The part of you that has remained constant through every experience, every success, every setback. The part that will remain constant as you deliberately choose to embody the frequency of your fulfilled dreams. Your ego mind, that voice that analyzes and doubts, wants you to believe manifestation is complicated. It creates elaborate strategies about what you need to do, who you need to become, how long it will take. It lives in constant worry about the how and anxiety about the when. But vibrational consciousness lives only in the frequency of now, where all creative power resides. When you begin to identify more with your vibrational state and less with your circumstances, something profound shifts. You stop being reactive to what shows up and become responsive to what you're creating. Instead of being discouraged by temporary appearances, you can maintain the frequency of your desired outcome regardless of current conditions. This is where your real freedom begins. Your vibrational state becomes your anchor to unlimited possibilities. Every time you return your attention to the feeling of already having what you desire, you're returning home to your natural creative power. You're stepping out of the illusion of separation and into the truth of vibrational unity. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything seemed to align perfectly? Maybe it was meeting the right person at exactly the right time or having an opportunity appear just when you needed it. Hidden in your ability to maintain a specific vibrational frequency for just 17 seconds is the key to collapsing quantum possibilities into physical reality. But 99% of people never learn to sustain it. Those moments when everything aligned perfectly that you just remembered, they weren't coincidences. They were glimpses of what becomes possible when you maintain vibrational coherence long enough for the quantum field to reorganize around your frequency. You discovered the manifestation window. Feel into your desired reality right now, but this time, pay attention not just to what you want, but to how it feels to already have it. There's a frequency, subtle but profound, where wanting transforms into knowing. Your nervous system relaxes because there's nothing to chase. Your heart opens because there's nothing to protect against. And your mind quiets because there's nothing to figure out. These aren't just emotional states, they're vibrational doorways. Ancient alchemists understood this secret. In the mystery schools of Egypt and Greece, initiates were taught to hold specific frequencies with such clarity that reality would literally reshape itself around their consciousness. They called it the philosopher's stone, not a physical object but a state of vibrational mastery that could transmute any experience. These weren't just meditation practices. They were training in accessing the field of infinite possibilities that responds to sustained vibrational coherence. The alchemists knew what quantum physics is now proving. When consciousness maintains a specific frequency for a sufficient duration, the field has no choice but to collapse possibilities that match that vibration. It's like tuning a crystal radio. Once you find the exact frequency, the station comes in crystal clear. Your dreams exist at specific vibrational frequencies. When you learn to embody those frequencies consistently, you're not attracting your desires, you're becoming them. In this manifestation window, something extraordinary happens. Your usual mental resistance dissolves. The constant stream of, but how, but when, but what if, goes quiet. And in that vibrational clarity, pure creation can occur. Not the desperate wanting of lack consciousness, but the calm knowing of abundance consciousness. It's here that your dreams stop being fantasies and become inevitable experiences. Think of this frequency as the womb of manifestation itself. Just as a seed needs the dark, nurturing environment of soil to sprout, your desires need this vibrational coherence to take physical form. The ancient mystics called it the zero-point field, that place of infinite potential where all possibilities exist simultaneously, waiting for consciousness to choose which one to experience. Most people interrupt this process. They feel good for a moment, then immediately question whether it's working, check for evidence in their external reality, or let doubt creep back in. But when you learn to rest in the frequency, when you can be comfortable holding the vibration of fulfillment regardless of current appearances, you discover that this is where all manifestation originates. It's not about forcing or trying to make things happen. It's about learning to be vibrationally consistent with your desired reality. And in that consistency, touching the place where consciousness meets infinite possibility. In the manifestation window, you're not trying to manipulate reality. You're harmonizing with it. But sustaining this frequency is only the beginning. There's something deeper waiting to be understood. Your emotional body has been sending you signals for years about your true vibrational capacity, and those ignored messages are literally blocking your ability to manifest. That deeper understanding isn't found by reaching for more sophisticated techniques or learning more manifestation methods. It's discovered by traveling inward, by descending from the realm of mental concepts into the felt experience of vibrational embodiment. Just as ancient temples were designed to amplify and channel divine energy, you too must construct an inner vibrational sanctuary, not with physical materials, but with emotional coherence and energetic alignment. Think about the great resonating chambers of the world, the acoustic perfection of certain cathedrals where a whispered prayer could be heard throughout the entire space, or the sound chambers in ancient temples where specific frequencies could induce altered states of consciousness. These weren't built randomly. Every curve was calculated to amplify vibration. Every chamber designed to create harmonic resonance. Your emotional body is no different. It's already a perfect vibrational instrument, but most of us have never learned to play it consciously. The ancient Egyptians understood this profoundly. They mapped the human energy system as a living sound chamber with emotional centers corresponding to different frequencies of experience. They knew that feeling was the language of manifestation, the bridge between invisible intention and visible form. As you begin to pay attention to your emotional vibration more consciously, you might notice something interesting happening. Certain feelings may seem comfortable and familiar while others feel foreign or somehow unavailable. You might be very comfortable with worry but uncomfortable with excitement. Very familiar with struggle but unfamiliar with ease. Very practiced at disappointment but inexperienced with fulfillment. These aren't just emotional preferences. They're vibrational habits. Your nervous system has become conditioned to certain frequencies through repetition, creating emotional comfort zones that feel safe even when they're limiting. That comfort with worry might be a protection mechanism from childhood when anxiety helped you navigate unpredictable situations. The familiarity with struggle could be a learned pattern from watching others model that achievement requires suffering. The practice of disappointment might be a way your system protects you from the vulnerability of hope. But here's the beautiful thing about vibrational work. It doesn't just reveal these patterns, it allows you to choose new ones. Each time you consciously choose to embody the frequency of your desires instead of the frequency of your fears, you're literally rewiring your emotional instrument. Imagine learning to play every emotional note with mastery. When you choose to feel abundant instead of anxious, you're not lying to yourself, you're expanding your vibrational range. When you practice excitement instead of worry, you're not being unrealistic, you're becoming available to frequencies that can create new realities. With each conscious choice to embody a higher frequency, you're not just changing your mood, you're upgrading your manifestation capability. You're tuning your emotional instrument to play the songs that call forth your dreams. The Egyptians built their pyramids as resonating chambers that could amplify consciousness and facilitate transformation. Through emotional mastery, you're doing the same thing with your inner world. You're creating a vibrational environment so coherent, so aligned, that your desires have no choice but to manifest. This isn't about suppressing negative emotions or pretending everything is perfect. It's about expanding your emotional range to include the frequencies of your fulfilled life, giving yourself permission to feel as good as your dreams would make you feel. Once your inner vibrational sanctuary is established, something remarkable begins to happen to everything around you. Science has proven that emotions create electromagnetic fields that extend far beyond your physical body, which means you're unconsciously influencing reality itself through your feeling states right now. That remarkable influence extending around you isn't just metaphysical theory. It's measurable physics. Research from institutions like HeartMath and Princeton has shown that coherent emotional states create measurable effects in the quantum field, literally influencing probability and synchronicity. When your emotional state is chaotic, anxious, or conflicted, your field broadcasts that incoherence into your environment, actually decreasing the likelihood of positive synchronicities and desired outcomes. But when your emotional state becomes coherent, aligned, and consistently positive, your field becomes a magnet for experiences that match that frequency. Think of your emotional field like a radio transmitter. When you're broadcasting the frequency of lack, you receive experiences of limitation. When you're broadcasting the frequency of abundance, you receive experiences of prosperity. When you broadcast love, you receive love. When you broadcast fear, you receive situations that confirm your fears. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities while others seem to constantly encounter obstacles, even when they're both taking similar actions? Have you ever wondered why certain individuals seem to live charmed lives where everything flows easily, while others struggle despite working twice as hard? This isn't luck or privilege. It's vibrational influence in action. We're constantly broadcasting our internal frequency, and reality is constantly responding with matching experiences. Children and animals are especially sensitive to these vibrational fields. They haven't learned to override their natural ability to feel energy, so they respond immediately to the frequency you're emitting. When you're in a state of genuine joy and peace, children naturally gravitate toward you. When you're anxious or angry, even well-behaved pets become restless. This field effect extends to every aspect of your life. When you embody abundance consciousness before financial meetings, you're not just preparing mentally, you're creating an energetic environment that makes prosperous outcomes more probable. When you radiate love before romantic encounters, you're magnetizing connections that match that frequency. The beautiful thing about understanding your vibrational influence is that it reveals how powerfully connected you are to everything around you. You're not just an isolated individual trying to manifest personal desires. You're a conscious participant in the collective field of human experience. And every moment you spend in the frequency of your fulfilled dreams contributes to the overall probability that those dreams will manifest, not just for you, but for everyone whose lives you touch. But this influence isn't something you need to think about or strategically manage. It happens naturally when you focus on maintaining vibrational alignment with your authentic desires. The field responds to genuineness, not performance. When you embody abundance because you've genuinely expanded into that frequency, that authenticity radiates outward and creates real change in your environment. This is why the ancient teachings often spoke of the enlightened being as someone who transforms the world simply by existing in alignment. They understood that consciousness itself is creative, that coherence is magnetic, and that one person vibrating at their true frequency can shift the entire field of possibility around them. You've traveled far without ever leaving your inner world. Not across distances, but across frequencies, through resistance, beyond limitation, into the realm of infinite possibility. The most successful manifestors in history mastered one thing you've never been taught: how to access infinite creative power through vibrational surrender. And in traveling through these layers of frequency, you've discovered something the world of manifestation teachings doesn't want you to know. The most powerful thing you can do is often to simply be instead of constantly doing. We live in a culture that worships action, that tells us more effort equals faster results, that keeps us constantly busy, constantly strategizing, constantly pushing toward our goals. But the quantum field that creates your reality operates by completely different principles. The field doesn't respond to how hard you try. It responds to how aligned you are. It doesn't care about your vision boards or your action steps. It cares about your frequency, your coherence, your vibrational state of being. And the most magnetic state of all is surrendered alignment. Not the surrender of giving up, but the dynamic surrender of trust. Think about a powerful magnet for a moment. It doesn't chase iron filings across the table. It doesn't strain or effort or worry about whether it's magnetic enough. It simply exists in its natural state, and everything it's designed to attract moves toward it effortlessly. This is the kind of surrendered alignment that transforms lives. When you learn to embody the frequency of your desires without attachment to timeline or method, something extraordinary happens. Reality begins to rearrange itself around your vibration instead of resisting your efforts. Opportunities that you could never have strategized begin to appear naturally. People who can help you seem to show up at exactly the right moment. Solutions to challenges you've been wrestling with suddenly become obvious. Resources you need become available through unexpected channels. This isn't magic. It's vibrational physics. When you're in a state of surrendered alignment, you're no longer broadcasting the chaotic signals of desperation, control, or struggle. Instead, you're emanating the clear frequency of trust, receptivity, and magnetic attraction. The quantum field responds to this clarity by organizing circumstances, people, and opportunities to match your coherent vibration. Consider the eye of a hurricane. All around it, winds rage with tremendous force. Chaos and destruction swirl in every direction. But at the very center is perfect calm, perfect stillness, perfect organization. From that center, the entire storm system maintains its structure and direction. This is the kind of surrendered alignment you can cultivate within yourself. Not the surrender of someone who has given up, but the surrender of someone who has learned to trust the creative power of aligned consciousness. The difference between forcing and allowing becomes crystal clear in this surrender. Forcing tries to manipulate external circumstances through willpower and strategy. Allowing permits internal alignment to magnetize external harmony naturally. Forcing is exhausting because you're working against the natural creative flow of life. Allowing is effortless because you're cooperating with the quantum field's tendency to organize around coherent consciousness. When you vibrate consistently, when you maintain emotional alignment, when you embody the frequency of your fulfilled desires, you're not trying to make manifestation happen. You're allowing manifestation to happen through you. You become a clear channel for the intelligence of the universe to express your dreams in physical form. This doesn't mean becoming passive or inactive. True surrender is incredibly alive, incredibly aware. It's the surrender of a master musician who has practiced so thoroughly that they can now play from pure inspiration rather than technique. Completely present, completely responsive, completely available for whatever wants to emerge through their artistry. From this place of surrendered alignment, your actions become effortless and incredibly effective because they're arising from vibrational harmony rather than mental effort. Now, as you return to your daily life, take this frequency with you. And now you return not to who you were, but to who you've always been capable of becoming. Beneath the learned patterns of limitation, vibrational alignment brought you here. And now it reveals the final truth. You are not separate from what you desire. You are the vibration that creates it. You've journeyed through the quantum nature of attraction, discovering that every moment is an opportunity for vibrational alignment with your dreams. You've awakened the frequency chooser within, that eternal part of you that can select which reality to tune into regardless of current circumstances. In the manifestation window of sustained coherence, you found the sacred laboratory where consciousness collapses infinite possibilities into specific experiences. Through building your inner vibrational sanctuary, you've learned that your emotional body is not just a feeling center, but a powerful manifestation instrument capable of broadcasting your desired reality into existence. You've discovered that your vibrational field extends far beyond your physical form, making you a constant creator of the experiences that surround you, influencing not just your own life but the lives of everyone you encounter. And finally, you've touched the profound truth that the most powerful manifestation comes not from effortful doing, but from surrendered being. The magnetic alignment that allows reality to organize itself around your coherent frequency rather than forcing it to comply with your strategies. There will be moments when the world pulls you back into old vibrational patterns. When fear clouds your frequency, when doubt interrupts your alignment, when circumstances seem to contradict your desires. In those moments, remember the shortest path back to your creative power is vibrational choice. 3 conscious breaths into the frequency of abundance can shift your entire field. 1 moment of feeling your desires as already fulfilled can realign you with infinite possibility. A single choice to embody joy instead of worry can restore your magnetic power. This isn't about perfection. It's about returning, again and again, to the truth of your vibrational nature. Each time you remember to choose your frequency consciously, you're not just improving your mood, you're literally reshaping your reality from the quantum level up. You're becoming a living demonstration that consciousness, not circumstances, is the true creative force in your life. Now, as you move forward, take this understanding with you. Let your vibrational state be your compass. Let surrender be your strength. Let alignment be your action. The people living your dream life aren't lucky, aren't more deserving, aren't blessed with special circumstances. They've simply learned to vibrate at the frequency of their fulfilled desires consistently enough for the quantum field to have no choice but to match their internal state with external experiences. So align. Not to escape your current reality, but to create your desired one. Not to prove anything to anyone, but to express the truth of your unlimited nature. Not because you have to, but because you can. The frequency is the key. You are the consciousness that chooses it. Tune in.